very good morning. Welcome to another edition of Success Precepts. I go by the name Sam Sami Beji, and we come your way on Success Precepts this morning with excitement. We come with our hearts filled with joy because the series that we've been taking on the program has been a blessing, and we get feedbacks. Almost every day, and that encourages us to do some more. I am excited that Mr. Kanu Emejiwe, Uncle K, is in the studios. Uncle K, good morning, sir.
Morning, Sammy.
Good to be with you.
Great.
And we'll be talking about something today, and that's maximizing your potential. All right, maximizing your potential. We have 3 questions, basically, like Uncle K did tell me before we came on air. And the questions are: what is potential? Why is it important to maximize your potential? And then number 3, why are we not maximizing our potential? We will go this way and see how far we can get before it's 12 o'clock today.
Thank you, Sammy. It's good always to start by saying this is where we are going, and then hopefully people will be able to work with us and get to where we want to get to. The first question we want to look at is what is potential? Because we talk about maximizing potential. I'm going to define this. I'm going to attempt to define this contextually. I'm not looking at dictionary definition. I'm applying it in the context of what we're talking about. So, if we look at potential contextually, we will say potential is dormant ability, reserved power, untapped strength, unused resources, hidden talents. It's not just one word. I'm bringing out different,
Okay. What's that we go
qualified?
For different contexts.
Dormant ability, reserved power, untapped strength, unused resources, hidden talents, capped capabilities. Basically, this is what we're going to be referring to as potential. Let me put it another way. Potential is what you can do, but haven't yet done.
Okay.
I think that English is simpler.
Okay, yeah.
I say dormant ability, reserved power. It simply implies that there's something that you can do. Mm-hmm. Emphasis being on what you can, mm-hmm. what is possible, mm-hmm. but hasn't yet been done. That's what we're referring to. Okay. So we are all full of potential, God created every one of us with enormous potential, and I'll elaborate on that shortly. Unfortunately, only a very small percentage of people living on this earth will ever experience any significant fraction of their potential. I repeat, this is very unfortunate. Very few people on earth will ever experience any significant fraction of. Let me put it this way. Scientifically, it has been proven that all your life you never use, rarely, not most of us, never use more than 10% of the capability of our brain. Now, if you look at one of my qualifications of potential, I said capped capability.
Capped capability, yes.
That science has been able to prove that through your life, most people's lives, not more than 10% of the capacity of their brain would ever be used. This is where I'm going. So, it's easy to see why the wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard. Because a lot of people die without ever having expressed their potential. Ever. So when you go to the graveyard, you find a lot of books that were not written, a lot of songs that were not sung, a lot of ideas that never came to fruition, and so on and so forth. So, but let's start from the origin. It always helps. Where does potential come from? Because we talk about having potential. Where does potential come from?
Okay.
Simply put, potential comes from the Creator, God. Because anybody that has created something has put in that thing the capacity to achieve what it has been created for. So potential basically comes from God. Now let me break this down. God is omnipotent. What does the word omnipotent mean? Almighty, infinite power, having very great or unlimited power. In other words, full of potential.
Okay.
God is omnipotent. He is full of power, infinite. In other words, there's nothing that can be that is not already in God. And everything that is came from God. So it's talking about God being infinitely full of power. Okay. Now, when creation took place, when God wanted to create fish and sea creatures, he spoke to the waters. When he wanted to create animals and land creatures, he spoke to the soil, to the earth. But when God wanted to create man, he spoke to himself. So he says, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over blah, 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 all those things. I don't want to go through that now. In other words, let make man in our image. Let him be full of potential. Let him be full of potential, just like us. So at the very get-go, God had put in us a piece of him. That piece of him is what hallmarks the capacity that we have to do or be anything. So the Bible puts it this way: I can do all things through Christ who strengthens. It's not Christianese. It's not, people just quote these things, they don't understand what they're talking about. I'm trying to bring you to a level of understanding that will help you. Because he had created you in his likeness. I said God himself is omnipotent. And he said, let's make man. He didn't talk to the soil or anything. He spoke to himself. Let's take out of our essence and create man to be like us. So he had in effect transmitted the potency, the power therein to you. So when the Bible starts talking about your ability to do all things, it's not just Christianese. And I mean all things. It means you can heal yourself.
Glory.
Okay, we'll come there. No, because see, at the end of the day, well, we'll come there. Let me not jump the gun. So your potential does not come from what you know or what you have. It comes from who you are. I repeat, potential. Your potential does not come from what you know. Because a lot of people come to me, for example, and say to me, please, what books do you read? Because it's assumed that what you have or what you know is the source of your potential. So you want to read the books I read so you can know the things I know. That's the problem with that. Because I repeat myself, what you know or what you have does not form your potential. Let's put it this way. What you know only enhances your ability to express your potential. It is not your potential.
So it's a different thing altogether.
It is not your potential. Let me give you an example. If I could only speak Greek and I'm here this morning, you will not understand me. So the fact that I can speak English means that I have learned an ability to help me express my potential. Are you understanding me?
Yes.
So what you know enhances your ability to express your potential. Is not your potential itself. And what you have, this is even the beautiful part, what you have, you already have. It is no longer potential. It has been expressed.
Okay. I hope it's coming clear for someone, like it's coming clear for me as well this morning. What you have, you already have. It's already expressed. It's no more potential.
No more potential.
Okay.
So these two things that confuse us about what we know and what we have. Why I'm emphasizing is that when we start talking about potential, somebody will feel that because I'm more educated, then I have greater potential to achieve greater things. That's not necessarily so. What your potential comes from who you are. And I've just tried to make you understand who you are biblically.
Yes.
Because it's that part of you that is God that is able to express all the wonderful things that you want to become. So why is it important to maximize our potential? I'm trying to see how much you can achieve, but I try and slow down. Because you need to reflect to be able to, latch on to what I'm trying to say, and that way you can run with it. I try to make you understand what is potential, latent ability, something you haven't yet done, but it's well within your capacity to do. And I've said the origin of this is from your Creator. He took a piece of himself and put in you. And if he's all able, then you are all able.
Actually.
That's the simple truth. So, what is the importance of this, maximizing, actuating your potential? Why is it so important? Because I know last week when we were talking about working for God, I said, many people will end up in obscurity. So why is it so important to maximize your potential. Okay. In maximizing your potential, or let's put it this way, in maximizing lies your potential to solve all problems.
In maximizing lies your potential to solve all problems.
Maybe if you're listening, you write that down so you can go back and look at it. It's a little bit deep, it's a bit philosophical, but it's very simple. I just, we're talking about why it's important to maximize your potential. I said, in maximizing lies your potential to solve all problems of humanity.
Okay.
I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. You are able to solve all problems, and you're able to create a beautiful and peaceful world according to the mandate: be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, have dominion over all. Genesis 1:28. These are not my words, these are the words of God. He said to man, after he made man, he said, be fruitful and multiply. He made one man and one woman, and he said, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth, subdue it, have dominion. Over all, over the fish, over the this, over everything he had created, have dominion over it all. Therein lies the potential for him to be talking to the man he made. He said, you're now like me, so you can do all this. See this thing, see this garden, see all the stuff I've given you.
You can
now multiply the goodness, multiply the capacity, multiply the blessings, multiply everything, and be in charge. It takes potential to have dominion. It takes expressing potential to have dominion.
Expressing potential.
Yes, you must be doing something to conquer something. You can't sit down and expect that your dominion comes from your mouth alone. Remember, I've always thought this, that when God came, the default setting of the world is chaotic. Nature tends to chaos. So when God came and ordered the chaos, he now says to you, now you have the same powers I do. Jesus says that greater works than I have done you will do. What is he talking about? He said, because I have ordered this place, look at how you will do it. Now go ahead and do those things that I've put you here to do. That's what I'm saying, that in maximizing your potential, you are able to solve. And I didn't say one problem. I said, look, the problems of the solution to the problems of humanity lie with humanity. That problems are not being solved is because men and women are not rising up to the occasion. Let me put it this way. In the seed lies the potential of a tree. In the boy lies the potential of a man. In the girl lies the potential of a woman, of a mother, of a wife. So let's go back. In the seed lies God made one man. One man. When I say man, I mean corporate. One man, one woman. And he says, take over and take control. He did not make 3 billion. There are over 5 or 6 billion people on earth today. So God needed only one man. So you need only one man to achieve the 5 billion that we are seeing today. He could have made 5 billion. It was unnecessary. What God does is works with the seed principle. He makes a seed and charges the seed to multiply. And I'm saying the potential to multiply lies in the seed. So he doesn't start by making everything. He just makes the one that is necessary to do everything. So he made, I remember I said, the seed lies the potential of the tree. Nothing, I think I mentioned this last week, nothing is more tragic than when the tree dies in the seed.
Very true.
Nothing is more tragic
than when
the man dies in the boy. Nothing is more tragic than when the mother dies in the girl. If a seed never grows to become a tree, it has robbed it has robbed the earth of that harvest that God had put in it. God didn't create the harvest, he created the seed. Sammy, when we fail to express our potential, humanity suffers. This is why it's important to maximize this thing. There's a song you were playing. I want to be
the best that I
can be. I remember when I was younger, I wanted to join the armed forces, for a very funny reason. The mantra of the United States Navy SEAL is, be all you can be.
Oh.
That thing used to drive me. It's simple. Be all you can be. Because it's taken that by the time you go through Navy SEAL training in America, every single potential you have to be the best would have been tapped. That's why they have they have the strongest force and armed force in the world. Navy SEALs do they are the people that captured Osama bin Laden. They went to his backyard and picked him up and took him out. Be the best you can be. Potential. I go back to the seed. Nothing. This breaks my heart. Because there are too many boys walking around today because the man died in them a long time ago.
Oh.
There are too many girls walking around today because the woman died in them a long time ago. See, this is why people are infantile in their understanding. They're infantile in their expectations. They're infantile in their actions. Just imagine a world full of children, no adults. A world full of seeds, no crops. The danger in remaining a seed or dying as a seed is that life dies in us. Because, God help us. The danger in remaining a seed or dying as a seed is that life dies in us. There is no future. Because the potential of a greater tomorrow lies in the seeds of today. But if the seed dies today, there is no tomorrow. Are you wondering why we have woken up to a wicked world today? I repeat myself, because too many boys are walking around. Because why would a man marry and be beating his wife? He's a boy. The only man about him that he has grown up and maybe has added years.
And that doesn't make a boy a man.
I repeat myself, humanity suffered when we fail to express our potentials. When you live or die as a seed, you deprive humanity of life. 2, you fail to multiply. Because when a seed grows, it doesn't grow back as a seed. It grows as a tree with fruit that have more seeds.
There's no tree that will give you just the fruit. One seed.
Nothing grows as
no tree will give you that.
Thank you. When one seed germinates, it grows to a tree that has several fruit that each contains several seeds.
Yes.
That is the tragedy of the world we live in today. For the boy, the man has died in the boy. And the worst thing about it is that as a mercy, the enemy can make lunch out of you. Let me give you an example. When you drop seeds of corn in the floor, chicken just come and pick them up and eat. Have you seen a chicken take on
it ends there. It ends there.
Have you seen a chicken take on a cob of corn? A chicken go to your farm and start knocking down the corn. No, it's not possible. It's when you have brought out the seed, they start eating it. Have you seen a bird try and take down a tree? It's not possible. But the bird will take a seed,
swallow and go away, and it ends there.
That's the tragedy of our existence today. This is the problem we have found ourselves with. We have woken up to a morning, to a day that is full of evil. We have woken up to a time that is full of wickedness. But I'm telling you that this is not by chance. Because they are the seeds of yesterday that did not grow to produce the results that they were here to produce. So they have been they have either been taken over by the enemy or they have robbed us. There are two ways. Either the enemy has taken you over, or you, by not being fruitful, you have robbed us of life. And so the Bible talked about the man that gave his servants talents according to their ability and travel.
Yes.
The same thing. By not reproducing, by not being fruitful, you have robbed us of that talent, that gift, that blessing that is in you. And I remember last week I said, look at 4 million people in Abia State. Yet, this is one of the poorest and one of the most people are suffering because their seeds are dying. They're not germinating, they're not producing, nothing is happening. And then they'll tell you that it's the government. Oh, God help us, Sammy. You know, the last question we were going to talk about was
why are we not maximizing our potential?
Why is the seed dying? Why are the men dying as boys? You know, this one touches my heart because in the problems you see in humanity, there are people, I said infantile, people think like children. People's expectations are those of children. And people's actions, they are basically stupid. That's why we are seeing what we are seeing. Because the time that the man died a long time ago. What you are seeing is just children walking around. When you listen to some people talk, you wonder whether they're talking to people that can read. They can't reason. That's a simple truth. It's not. Why is it difficult? Why has it become impossible? Why is it difficult? Why has it become difficult to express our talent, our potential? One word. Sorry. 2 words. The church. We end there. I will say nothing more beyond that. Hopefully that will get you agitated enough.
Okay. I'm glad you said what you said before you mentioned the church, because there are 1,000,001 questions in my mind now. I mean, the church. What a way to end Success Precepts today. But then I think it's the more reason why I look forward to another edition. Remember, we are on a series. It just began today, Maximizing Your Potential. We checked out the question, what is potential? And then we saw why it is important to maximize your potential. And the third question was, why are we not maximizing potential? And Uncle K said something for which I think you should listen, and I know why he mentioned the church when he just raised that last question. Next week Friday, let's look into that on Success Precepts. Thanks a bunch for your time. I am Sami Beji. I've been in the studios with Mr. Kanu Emejiwe.